Hi, I'm Stephen Head from Archery Supplies. Today I want to talk about fitting stabilizers to your Ember. So this is an Elite Ember. It's adjustable from about 17 to 29 inches in draw length, I think from 10 to 60 pounds. Now, at maximum draw length, it's not 10 pounds, it's 27 pounds, so I'm going to adjust that. I'm going to just correct that. As you shorten the draw length, it decreases the poundage. Now, if you're buying an Ember, you're probably looking for a bow which is light and adjustable. So you're probably a lady, a kid, someone who's older, someone who's struggling with strength. The Ember's the bow for you because it's got adjustability. It's nice and light. It's got the ability to fit draw stops to it. So we've been shooting it without stabilizers. We're going to shoot it with stabilizers and talk to you about that. Now, before I do that, this is my recurve bow. Now, yesterday I shot it with stabilizers and I was having trouble holding up the weight. Now, so I've taken off the stabilizers and I get the twitches like this. The problem is when I add stabilizers to it, it hurts my shoulders a lot. Now, that's because of the operation I've been going through, but if you're young, if you don't have much strength, just bear in mind that the physical weight of the bow will probably be a lot on your body already, and adding stabilizers to it may be too much for your body, and you may start leaning backwards and you may start doing stuff like that, and it may hurt your shoulders too much. Now, you can take the weights off the stabilizers. With this bow I had 8 ounces on the front. I took 4 ounces off, so I was to 3 ounces on the front, 3 ounces on each side. But now I'm thinking I've got to take those weights off. But I've taken all the weights off just to shoot the bow because it hurt my body too much. Now the same applies to the Ember. So if you're shooting without stabilizers and then you go to add stabilizers to it, it's a matter of how much weight you've got. Now I've got 4 ounces on here and I thought, well, 4 ounces wouldn't be much for me because I normally shoot heaps of weight on the front. But coming out of surgery, I've been struggling to literally lift the bow and shoot the bow. So I've got 4 ounces there and 8 ounces at the back. I had more, but I've taken the weight off. Now this hurts my body and it's not what I'd recommend to do. I'd recommend to start with 1 or 2 ounces on the front and then double that on the back. So if you can only shoot 1 ounce on the front, shoot 1 ounce on the front. If you can't, don't shoot any weight on the front and maybe stick just 1 ounce on the back just to build up the weight. Okay, so the difference. Now the first thing I'm going to notice with fitting stabilizers to the Ember, there's no rear mount, so it's been mounted on the front. So with these V-bars, I actually had to buy a little adapter piece. Now the first thing I noticed, let's try and line this up, the string to the arrow, and you'll see the stabilizers off to one side. Look, that's the way it is. It's not going to affect your shooting. I just noticed it. Now I've done a video on that before. If it worries you, you can buy an angled V-bar, bracket, disconnect, and then put it so it's straight. But it's not going to make any difference, so let's just shoot some arrows and see what it's like with stabilizers and see if I shoot better with or without stabilizers. Now, saying that, you should always shoot better with stabilizers, but for me this is a lot of extra weight, so I may actually shoot worse. Okay, so if the bow's too heavy for you, your arm will drop when you shoot. Now I'm feeling a lot of pressure here in my shoulder, which would suggest it's too heavy for me. I haven't recovered enough yet to shoot a bow of this mass weight with these stabilizers, but I'm trying to build up. So basically I'll shoot about 10 arrows, take a break. So I've shot the recurve. I probably shot 30 arrows with the recurve tonight, 10 arrows with this tonight. I haven't shot any arrows before doing this video with this compound, and that'll probably be enough for me. I'll be buggered after that. So literally I get exhausted. And that's just part of my body healing and repairing. Now the first thing I notice is when I shot without stabilizers, I would have said I feel the bow used to twitch left to right. Now part of that will be because I'm not strong enough and my basically body's shaking with the weight. All the twitching's gone. There's no twitching anymore. The bow aims absolutely perfectly. So I pull the bow back, it hurts my shoulder here, but it aims perfectly. The grip doesn't feel as good as my other elites. So that's the Envision and the Verdict and the Result. It doesn't feel as good, but it's like a normal compound bow. So it's quite narrow. If you've got smaller hands, it'll be absolutely fine for you. Now if I could see, it'd be a great thing. Lights going, and I had an allergic reaction before filming and my eyes quite swollen, so but we'll do the video anyway. So again, if you're adding stabilizers, start with lightweight. If it doesn't hurt your body, add more weight. The more weight you add, the more stable theoretically you'll be. So before the operation with the compound, and if I was shooting in lots, I think I got up to about 16 ounces on the front. Now there's people running 30 odd ounces on the front, which means you've got a lot more weight on the back, but you don't need it, but it just settles you down, and this is for people who are looking for 1 or 2 more points. So again, this gets back to good form and strength and not panicking. Today in my shop I had a couple of archers in who are very good archers, Australian champion archers, who've done well on the world stage. And they said, look, in normal competition and QREs you can go in and shoot amazing scores, and then it comes to competition and your nerves kick in and literally your heartbeat raises, and that's when things fall apart. So you've got the mental side and you've also got the physical shooting side. I'm still up to the physical shooting side, so I'm still going to shoot good scores, and then once you can shoot a good score, then it's like, well, now I've got to be able to shoot that on a world stage in competition. And that's the whole mental side, which a lot of the top archers and top coaches will work a lot on with archers, about improving their mental capacity. And when I say their mental capacity, just focusing on the actual shooting and not worried about what's going on around you. So we had I'm going to get it wrong, the Oceanic Championships in Adelaide. And a lot of the archers came into my store. Now the problem with archery is you don't know a lot of the people, and when I say that could be my ignorance. Like, you may know names, but some of the kids' names you won't know. So I had, I think, one girl come in, and I was watching a shoot on the TV. I'm like, fantastic archer, fantastic technique. And yet, just walking in the shop, I didn't recognise her, obviously, because she hasn't hit that level of acknowledgement yet. At championships level, winning national championships, where she starts to become a person who's just easily recognised. But her technique was amazing, and she'll clearly get there if she's not already there, because one of the best techniques I've seen for an Australian. Last arrow, we'll go down and see how they are. Now, with light fading, it's very, very hard to see the center of the target. And again, if you're practicing, that's okay. If you're like, well, I've just got to work on my technique and work on strength and just work on getting quantities of arrows out. Which is exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to work out whether I'm going to be shooting compound, how much weight I can go to, how much strength I can put on the bow, how much weight I can put on the bow, how long I can shoot for competition. Now, I had another archer in the store today, and he was an older gentleman, and he's been shooting, I'm going to say, for 2 years now, and he can't build strength. When I say can't build strength, it takes time for him to build strength because he's on medication that stops testosterone levels from building. So, older guy, and as you become older, your muscles don't build as quick. So he has these pains, and like he has trouble adding weights to his bow. This is what this type of video is aimed for, because it's going to take him time to build strength. So he's got to shoot, like morning and night, every day to build up the strength so he can add 1 ounce of weight to his bow. And you might say, well, that's going to take a while. Look, it does take a while. It might be like this is a 2-year or 3-year stage to get to. So you start off with no weight, you start off with a light bow, and then you add some weights to it, and then you gradually build it up over time. Now you can increase that through, maybe doing some weights outside of this. You could be, exercising outside of this. But at the end of the day, it's just hard work. Correct diet and all that sort of stuff. So let's go and see where those arrows are. Okay, so I've got some arrows in the middle here, which is fantastic. And I've got some scattered around. Now, I had trouble seeing. So that's the first thing. Like, I really couldn't see the pin. So it was a bit of, these shots didn't feel bad. None of those shots felt bad. I couldn't really see where I was aiming, but I'm going to say the pin is so much more stable with the stabilizer. I find it easier to load the arrow into the bow with a stabilizer, and I didn't get any of the twitchiness. So for me, target shooting, and that's trying to lob them all in the center, the bow is so much more stable with a stabilizer. It's not even a question. The question is, how much can I hold up? Is it going to hurt my body? And what that requires now is constant shooting to shoot. So shoot, 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 and shoot enough so you don't hurt yourself, but enough that I'm putting my body under a little bit of strain, that I'm actually building a little bit of muscle in the process. So that's where I'm up to. And now you might say, well, Stephen, you shot better groups without stabilizers. And I may have. I don't think I shot an arrow out here. I don't think I shot an arrow out here. But I'm going to say that the difference in aiming is chalk and cheese. It's just so stable with stabilizers. Given correct light, given my eyes not blurry, it's not even in the ballpark. The difference between stabilizers and not stabilizers. And it's going to get better the stronger the shoulders get. So right now I'm sort of struggling to hold it up, so the forms, I'm probably doing a bit of this, but the more I shoot, the better it will get. So for me, it's like almost I have to shoot stabilizers and build it up. Now the same applies with the recurve. I'd be much better off shooting the Fivix Xeno riser with stabilizers than the Fivix Argon riser without stabilizers. No question about it. It was just the overall setup and the time to set it up, and me trying to build strength and how long it's going to take to build the strength so I'm ready to shoot. Now, overall with the weights on this bow, 4 ounces on the front, 8 ounces on the back, I'm happy with. Look, it's still too heavy for me. So, but I think I'd stick with this and see how much I can build up over a week to get to a stage where it's all comfortable and hopefully it's not hurting anymore. So, anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. That's the Elite Ember with stabilizers. I hope that gives you some points about adding stabilizers and how to do so. And remember, the more you shoot, the better you'll shoot. Thanks for watching. Bye.